If you've ever looked at a solar setup and thought, why does this wiring look like somebody likes spaghetti fight for its life in a toolbox? Congratulations! You're already halfway to understanding solar power because the biggest thing that confuses people isn't the panels, the batteries, or the giant price tag that makes your wallet file a police report. It's one simple question. Should your solar, panels be wired in series or parallel? And the crazy part is, this one decision can completely change how your entire system performs. And more power, less power, better charging, worse charging, more efficiency, less efficiency, and in some cases, one tiny wiring mistake can turn your expensive solar setup into the world's most overpriced lawn decorations. So let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense without sounding like a robot trapped inside a calculator. And here's the easiest way to understand it: series increases voltage, parallel increases the amperage, and that's the entire battle right there. But if you stop there, you're going to end up on YouTube at 2 a.m. searching that why is my solar system acting possessed? So let's go deeper. Imagine you have two solar panels. Each panel produces 20 volts and 5 amps. If you wire those panels in series, the voltage stacks together. So now you have 40 volts and still 5 amps. Think of it like stacking batteries in a flashlight. More push, same flow. Voltage is basically electrical pressure. Series wiring, though, increases the pressure. Now, if you wire those same two panels in parallel, the amperage stacks instead. So now you still have 20 volts, but instead of 5 amps, you now have 10 amps. Same pressure, more flow. That's the core difference between the two systems. Series equal higher voltage, parallel equals higher amperage. Now here's where people get confused because they hear higher and automatically assume better. Okay? Relax there, Captain Electricity. Okay, first off, higher is not always better. It depends entirely on your setup, your equipment, your wire length, and your environment, and what you're trying to power. And let's talk about why series wiring is insanely popular, okay? Higher voltage systems are more efficient over long distances. Electricity hates traveling long distances through wires because resistance eats power like a raccoon in a garbage can. When you increase voltage and keep amperage low, you reduce power loss, and that means small wires, less heat, and better efficiency. And this is why large solar systems and a lot of modern setups prefer series wiring. Your charge controller can often work more efficiently with higher voltage input too. For example, if your solar panels are on the roof of your RV and your batteries are far away, series wiring can help reduce the losses in those long cable runs. Less wasted energy means more charging power and actually reaches your batteries instead of turning your wires into warm noodles. Another reason series is loved. The series is loved is because MPPT charge controllers absolutely thrive on high voltage. MPPT controllers are basically the smart overachievers of the solar world. They take higher voltage input and convert it efficiently into usable battery charging power. So if you're running a quality MPPT controller, series wiring can give you excellent performance. But now here comes the giant slap in the face that nobody tells beginners, okay? Pay attention. Series wiring has a weakness: shade. One shaded panel can drag down the performance of the entire string. We've talked about this before. Imagine a line of people passing buckets of water. If one guy in the middle suddenly decided to take a nap, everybody behind him slows down too. And that's basically what happens in a series circuit. If one panel gets shaded by a tree branch, a vent pipe, a bird poop, leaves, or the world's most disrespectful cloud, the output of the whole chain can drop dramatically. And that's why roof layouts matter so much. If you have partial shading issues throughout the day, series wiring can become frustrating fast. Now let's talk about parallel wiring because this setup is basically the tank of the solar world, okay? Parallel systems are more resistant to shading problems, and if one panel gets shaded, the other keeps performing normally. And that's because each panel operates independently when wired in parallel. One lazy panel doesn't ruin everybody else's workday, though. So, if you park your RV under trees, deal with uneven sunlight, or have weird roof angles, parallel wiring can actually outperform series in real world conditions, even if it looks less efficient on paper. Parallel also works well for smaller systems and simpler battery charging setups. And since the voltage stays lower, it can, since the voltage stays lower, let me see. How can I put this? It can feel easier and safer for beginners to understand. But parallel has its own trade offs too. Remember how amperage increases? Uh, Higher amperage means thicker wires are usually needed, and more amps equals more heat and more resistant losses over long distances. So now your wiring costs can go up because thick copper wire is not cheap, and that stuff costs so much now that you think the wire was handcrafted by Viking blacksmiths. Another issue with parallel wiring is that your system components need to handle the higher current. Fusers, breakers, connectors, and charge controllers all have amperage limits. And if you ignore those limits, congratulations, you just invented a smoke machine nobody asked for. Safety matters a lot in solar because even smaller systems can produce dangerous power, and people think solar is harmless because it's connected to sunshine. No. Electricity does not care that the source is environmentally friendly. It still ruins your afternoon instantly. And let's talk about the biggest mistake beginners make too: mixing mismatched panels. This is where solar setups start looking like Frankenstein projects from a garage sale. If you wire mismatched panels together, performance suffers. And in series, currents gets limited by the weakest panel. And in parallel, voltage gets drained towards the lowest panel. So ideally, your panel should match in voltage, amperage, and wattage whenever possible. Same brand, same specs, same age is best because old and new panels together can behave like trying to run a marathon with one guy wearing roller skates and the other one wearing combat boots. It's technically possible. Still a disaster. Now, here's the part that really matters: which one you should use. If your system has little to no shade, long wire runs, and an MPPT charge controller, series wiring is usually the better choice. Higher efficiency, smaller wire size, and better voltage handling make it extremely attractive. And this is why a ton of modern residents and RV systems lean towards setup series setups. But if your environment has regular shading and complicated roof angles or shorter wire runs, parallel wiring may actually perform better overall. And reliability matters more than the theory. Because solar isn't just about perfect laboratory conditions, it's about real life. Trees exist, clouds exist, birds exist. Nature constantly wakes up every morning looking for ways to annoy solar owners. And there's also something called series parallel wiring where you combine both methods together. And this is super common in large systems because it gives you balanced voltage and amperage. For example, you might wire two panels in series to increase the voltage, then connect multiple series strings in parallel to increase the amperage. This allows systems to scale efficiently while keeping electrical values manageable. And it sounds complicated at first, but honestly, most larger solar systems use that hybrid approach because it offers that flexibility and better overall performance. Now, let's clear up the myth, okay? Why people call me on my video. You got to love it. It's always my mom, too, okay? So let's clear up one of the myths that confuses people constantly. Wiring panels in series does not magically increase total power beyond the panel rating. And some with parallel power is still determined to be by watts. Volts times amps equal watts. So if you have two 100-watt panels, you still have regularly 200 watts total. Whether they're wired in series or parallel, the difference is how that power is delivered. And one setup pushes harder with voltage and the other pushes more flow with the amperage, like we talked about. Same total power, different electrical behavior. And that behavior matters a lot depending on your equipment. And speaking of equipment, your charge controller determines a huge part of your decisions. PWM controllers generally work better with lower voltage. Systems are less flexible, and MPPT controllers are more advanced that can handle the higher voltage input efficiently. If you're serious about building a strong solar setup, MPPT is usually the move. They cost more upfront, but they squeeze more usable power from your panels, especially in cold weather and higher voltage systems. And yes, temperature matters too. Solar panels actually produce higher voltage when it's cold outside. So your system must be designed with safe voltage limits in mind. Ignore this, and the winter can suddenly turn your charge controller into an expensive paperweight. And this is why proper solar design matters more than people realize. It's not just randomly connecting wires and hoping the sun blesses your setup like some kind of electrical lottery ticket. Another thing people overlook is expansion. If you think you might add more panels later, plan ahead now. Some wiring methods make future upgrades easier than others, and nothing hurts worse than rebuilding an entire solar system because past you made decisions with the confidence of a raccoon holding jumper cables. So here's the simplest breakdown possible. Series equals higher voltage, better efficiency, and smaller wires, but more sensitive to shade. Parallel equals higher amperage, better shade resistance, but thicker wires and potentially more losses. Neither one is universally better, and the best setup depends entirely on your environment and goals. And that's the real answer nobody likes hearing because everybody wants one magical solution that fixes everything. Solar doesn't work like that. It's all trade offs. But once you understand those trade offs, solar suddenly becomes way less intimidating. And honestly, once you learn the basics, you start realizing most solar systems are just controlled sunlight with extra steps. The key is designing the system that fits your situation instead of copying some random guy online who lives in the desert who hasn't seen a cloud since 2017. Because the perfect solar setup is the one that works reliably for you every single day without, turning troubleshooting into a full-time job. Thanks for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, please subscribe. That's all I ask. We're looking for subscriptions on this page. And with the subscription, we can't grow and we can't even be here. So if you found value to this, please subscribe. I would highly appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.